Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how I mounted a trolling motor to the stern or rear of my Ascend 133X kayak using a Wilderness Systems mount and poly cutting board. That being said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, this is the rear view of the kayak, and it has a standard 4-bolt pattern, but in this case it's for using a power pole. And if you look, you can see that the edges are slightly angled, so when I make my mounting plate, I'm going to have to take that into consideration. And the measurements are approximately 6 by 6 inches. Okay, so I'm back at the mounting area, and what I have now is my 6 by 9 by 1/2 piece of poly cutting board that I'll lay in the little recessed area, and you can see it doesn't lie flat. Even though it's 6 by 9, because there's that angle in here, what I'm going to have to do is knock off this edge on one side and then on the other side at about a 45-degree angle until it lays down flat to line up with the angle here of the recessed area. And just because things aren't perfect, I'm just going to use a regular rasping file and just do it by hand until I get everything to fit. Okay, so I shaved down or chamfered the sides of this mounting plate and also went ahead and drilled the holes from a template that I had. And you can see it sits in here nice and flat, and this is what the edges look like after you shave them down. It doesn't take much to do it. And I just used a rasp file just because it was easy to do, and because there's so many imperfections in this, it was kind of like shave a little here, refit, shave a little more, and refit. So that's how you're going to have to do it. And then I also cut it to length so that this edge here lines up with the edge of the recessed mount area on the kayak. I have the mount just dry fit and the holes lined up just for one other modification I have to make. Because this width isn't very big, the clamps of the trolling motor don't get a good solid clamping to keep the motor tight. So what I'm going to do is use this piece of poly cutting board that's already on the mount, make a template, and extend this out about 3/4 of an inch. So it's going to give me over an inch of width in order for the clamps of the trolling motor to attach to. So this is the Wilderness plate, and as you can see, I removed the piece of polymer that was on the back, and what I did was I traced this onto 3/4 inch poly cutting board that I had as scrap, and then I drilled out the holes to accept 1/4 inch by 20 bolts, and then I'll just press it in the already made holes and bolt it up, and it will be done. Okay, I've assembled everything for the mount and attached it to the kayak, and this is what it looks like. I just wanted to go over why I chose using the poly cutting board along with the Wilderness System trolling motor mount. And the reason being, like I stated earlier, is that the angle here on the Wilderness System mount hit the sides of the recessed area of the kayak. And so by using the poly cutting board, which was a 1/2 inch thick, and how I modified it to show you, it lifted up the height for the mount in order to make it fit inside the recessed area. And that's why I used both of those. This is the assembled view of the mount system along with the trolling motor that I'm going to be using for this kayak. So that's it. If you have any questions, please leave them for me in the comments. Thank you.